Today we're going to be starting a special project, and this one is definitely going to be different. You have been struggling to hang laundry for the last
3 years or more.
We wash our laundry, obviously. Do I have to say that?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't own a clothes dryer. So when we wash our laundry, we hang dry it. That's a choice. It's our preference to hang dry our clothing. And for the last few years, this is the rack that you've been drying your laundry on.
Yep.
You guys, it works. We bought this years ago. It's held up great, but you can see it's pretty small. And ever since we moved into this property, we haven't had a clothesline, so that's what we've been relying on.
Yeah.
You've been wanting a clothesline.
Since we moved in here, yeah.
And I've unfortunately been putting it off because of all different excuses. But today we're starting a special clothesline. But I really put some thought into this one. We're not just building a clothesline, but we're also going to try to solve some of the obstacles that we face here, which is unexpected rain. We get rain anytime, any day. And sometimes you want to put clothes out.
Especially in the summer, when it's the rainy season.
And then the rain comes, and then you gotta let the clothes dry all over again. The other thing is the sun. We are in Florida, and we have a lot of sun, very strong sun, and it bleaches our clothes. My colors are faded. We need to try to have a clothesline that protects our clothing from the sun and the occasional rain showers. So what I decided to do was buy a small gazebo structure, and we're going to convert that into a covered clothesline. I think this is going to work. Now, it's not going to be humongous, but it's going to be bigger than this. Keep that in mind during this project. Typically, you see clotheslines that are long and stretched out. I'm taking this concept, making it a little bit bigger, and protecting it from the elements. So far, what we've done is picked a spot for our clothesline. And as you can see, it's going to be right here behind us. After picking the spot, we checked the level and we built this frame. This frame is just a simple treated lumber frame that we notched and bolted together. I wanted to have a strong, sturdy base to put this thing on, but we didn't want to go through the hassle and expense of pouring a big concrete slab or building some kind of full deck. Then we anchored it to the ground because we got to make sure this thing won't tip over. So what we did was we picked up some big earth anchors and some special brackets that bolted to the frame, and we screwed it right to the ground. This thing is solid. We got 4 big anchors anchoring it down.
It's not going anywhere.
So we're ready to start building, and that's what we're getting to today. We're going to get all the pieces laid out, and we're going to start putting this thing together. I hope this works. I hope it looks good. That took a while, but we got everything unpacked. Everything looks like it's here. So we're going to go ahead and start the assembly. As usual, we're running out of light, so we're gonna call it a night and get back to this tomorrow. But we made some good progress. Guys, this is looking really good, but we're off to a late start today because we're just slow at getting out here. We had a little bit of rain this morning, but it's cleared up. We're gonna get back to work on the gazebo clothesline. Well guys, we've made some big progress and we've come to an exciting point in the project where we start putting the metal on the roof. You just saw us finishing the roof assemblies. Now the big question that we have, how will we be able to get these roofs up there? I don't even understand. The roof metal is a little bit heavy, plus all that wood. The wood is lightweight, but it's still a lot of wood. We gotta lift it up this high. I just don't understand it, but we're following the instructions, so we're gonna see how it goes. That's what they tell you to do, build it on the ground, and I think we're gonna have to lift it up there. We'll get the metal installed and see what we can do. This isn't fun to peel off. Just wanted to come in with an update and let you know that we just finished screwing this roof side. So this is one unit completely ready to put on top of the gazebo. I guess now we have to lay out the metal on the other half, do the same exact thing. We'll get the other side ready and then we'll get them on top. But we have to fix something first. I was looking at the structure and thinking about getting the roof up there, and I realized that it would be better if this was turned. If we leave it like this with the roof sloping this way, it's gonna send rainwater off toward our house, which is right here, and onto our walkway, which we want between this building and the house. So there's a walkway, and all that rain's gonna be dripping down there. We don't want that. So I want to turn it so that the roof slopes this way and sheds water away from the house, and it just makes more sense. We're gonna try to lift this up and turn the structure a little bit, like so that you have enough leverage to lift it up a little.
Okay, right here.
Best to get it, like, especially what if you have to switch sides or something.
Yeah. The beam.
Okay, I'll face you so I can see what's going on. See if you can lift it.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Which way you want to go?
Sure. Set it down.
Better to do it now than when the roof is on.
Oh, we did it.
Here, come my way. Yeah, lift. Both roof panels are ready. Now, we shall lift them onto the roof. Well, I guess I can't say lift them onto the roof, it is the roof.
Well, it's not too bad. You know?
Yeah. Are you lifting it?
No.
Okay. It just felt like there was weight on the end.
If I was, it was barely anything.
Ooh. Wait. Wait, don't touch it, don't touch it. Just tell me what's going on behind me, I can't see.
It's... Okay, move it. It's not fitting. Over. Just keep going, I guess.
What's it gotta do?
You gotta keep going up. This side has to go up more. Okay, you're almost at the wood. Okay, I lift it a little. Okay, it's at the wood, but it's not squeezing in the. It's almost. There it goes.
Yeah.
It wasn't fitting.
It's okay.
Lift. Good. Wow.
We did it. That was heavy. Guys, that was awesome. We got it up there. I didn't know how we were going to do it, but I just gave it all my might and
Shoved it up there.
the old heave-ho got it done. It's not secured, so we're going to get some bolts in it before it flies away on us. And we'll go from there. So far, I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with this build. It's tricky, but not hard. There's a lot of just trickiness to it. Making sure the bolts are facing the right direction, getting everything put together the right way. But if you take your time, carefully observe all the instructions, it goes really smoothly. And I'm really impressed with all the tools they give you in the kit. All kinds of bits and adapters for your tools to get everything done. And you do need a couple of things. But that being said, we're not being sponsored. We bought this with our own money and doing this on our own. Nobody even knows we're doing this except for us. I just picked this out because I thought it was perfect for our needs and it was on sale, so I got it for a good price. So I said, hey, let's try it out. And so far, I'm pretty happy with it. Well, we're gonna try to tackle this other side. We know what to do.
Yeah.
We can do it. Okay. Okay.
Alright, line yours up. Lift this one more. It's not in there. It's on top of the rafter thing. Good, good. Perfect. That went even better than the first one.
We just got the roof secured. That was a little bit scary, but that side went a lot better than the other one. And it's done. It's all bolted together really good. There's a ton of bolts that all link it together. And now for the fancy stuff. We're going to take these heavy metal brackets, put them on the gable ends to tie the two roof halves together. Let's see how these line up with the holes. Looks really good. Everything's straight. These rafter brackets should hold this roof on tight. This thing is supposed to be able to handle high winds. We want to make sure that if another hurricane comes through, it's not going to rip this apart. This morning, I came out here and finished up all the trim work, all the boring stuff that wouldn't be fun to watch. That involved drip caps, trim along the sides of the roof, and the ridge cap. Got that all secured. Honestly, the unit is complete. All we have to do now is anchor the feet down, and then we have some cool little shelves that go along the sides of the unit. We will be installing those. So we have a little more to do, but the structure is finished. You might notice the white edges right along the eaves here. It might look like it doesn't match, and that's because it didn't come with this kit. When I was assembling the roof, I realized that the way they wanted it, the roof comes down and then they put a little trim piece over the edge to kind of pretty it up. But what that does is the water comes down the roof and goes behind the trim because it's on top. And then it's going to be getting the ends of our rafters wet, and it could potentially rot out the wood quicker. We didn't like that. So what I did was I took some leftover drip edge that we had laying around and I put it under the roof so that the roof will be on top of the drip cap. When the water comes down, it'll shed away from the structure and won't touch any of the wood. So after the drip caps were under the roof, I put their trim pieces over the roof. So the white is my addition. It's not supposed to be there. Well guys, we got the first side railing and tabletop done. It looks really cool and the tabletop's really sturdy. Now we ended up taking the template and cutting about 3 inches off the bottom because we wanted to lower our tabletop down a little bit. The reason is because we don't like high counters, and since we're using this as a clothesline, we wanted it to be comfortable to maybe set the laundry basket on, set the clothespins on. You can work off of it. We're gonna have another one right here, but we decided to stop because this railing and tabletop can be added anytime. But since we still have to fill this with stone, we're gonna leave it open to make the stone easier to bring in because we'll be bringing it in from this direction right here. So now while this is coming together, you guys are probably thinking, what kind of clothesline is this? It's so small, it's weird, it's square, it's a gazebo, it's not a clothesline. And yeah, but we're gonna make it work, and we just had a really good idea. We needed a way to run clotheslines across here. What we wanna do is have multiple lines, many of them actually. They're not gonna be far apart, pretty close together, but it's gonna be easier than that little rack where they're this close together. So we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do to run the lines across, and we decided to use this as the main support. This came with the gazebo, and it's actually a footrest. And it's supposed to go underneath the railing over here so that when you're sitting at that table, you put your feet up on here. It's actually a really solid feeling pipe.
Yeah.
So instead of using it as a footrest, we're going to be installing it up here.
Just up there somewhere.
Imagine it. We bolt it in, and then we're going to use this to attach our cables across our clotheslines.
Yep.
Perfect. I think this is going to work. This is so cool because then we're really repurposing this and turning it into something new while using all the parts. And I love repurposing parts for different needs. That's fun. Not to get ahead of myself, but we're just going to be using this coated cable. It's vinyl coated. I know. And we're going to wrap it right around the pipe. There's nothing to stop it from sliding, but I think it's going to be fine if we make it tight. So it's going to go right around there, clamp it, and basically we have a clothesline. Well guys, we got our wires up. I really was going to film this for you, but I had a hard time capturing it. It just looked like we were swinging our arms around. You couldn't see what we were doing. So here it is. We just looped it around and clamped it together. So now you can see the clothesline vision that we had. And I hope it works. We haven't put it to the test yet. We just got these up. So we're going to see how it does. We're going to see how strong these poles are. And the wires I know are strong enough to carry the weight because we used a similar wire before. It looks thin, but they're strong. I'm just more worried about everything else. So we'll see how it goes. I was even thinking this would look really nice if we can get some strong black rope that doesn't stretch and do it that way. It would have looked really sharp. Maybe eliminate all these little clamps. I don't know. We could always swap out the wires if we get bored of them. But this is looking really good. And I'm happy we're able to reuse those footrests. The other benefit of doing it this way is it gives us flexibility because right now we're not sure how many strands of clothesline we'll need in this small space to hang all of our typical laundry. So my thought is we're going to start with 9 strands right here. The span is 80 inches wide, just so you know. Now if this turns out to be not enough room for us to hang our clothes, we can just slide these down the pole, and they don't slide easily, but we can slide them. And we can add more. They'll get closer together, but as long as we can get clothes around them, that's fine. Once we figure out what the best setup up here is for our needs, how many strands and all that stuff, we could always, like I said, make this better in the future, but right now it's looking okay. So with this done, the last thing that we have to do is get stone delivered so that we can fill this box up. Again, the reason we're filling it is because we wanted it raised to keep this out of the floodwaters. Just by raising it up this 5.5 inches with these pressure treated lumbers, we were able to get out of the flood zone. And then we're going to fill this in with stone, a nice walkable drainage area. That's the idea. Now also off camera, we went around and we drove big lag bolts down into the frame to hold those brackets down. So the legs are secured in place to the frame. The frame is anchored into the ground. We have 4 big lag screws in each foot, so 16 screws going down. This should be able to handle quite a bit. I know it's listed as being able to handle 100-mile-per-hour winds. So hopefully this is all strong enough to deal with whatever storms come our way. And I'll tell you what else is cool about this structure. Not only is it a clothesline for you, for all of us, she likes to hang the laundry.
Yeah.
But also, we put these so that we could walk under without bumping our head, all these wires. Which means we could also multi-purpose this. If we want to come out and sit out of the sun or out of the rain, we have a little place to do that. If we just want to park our bikes out of the rain, we have a place to do that.
Yep.
It's definitely handy because we don't have enough places on our property out of the weather. And this is out of the weather enough.
Yeah.
So I actually anticipate us getting a lot of use out of this, not even as a clothesline, just as, hey, let's go sit.
And if anybody's wondering if this is too high, the stone will be up here at this level, and this is, I can easily reach this, so.
Not too high.
Yeah, it's good.
So even though this isn't 100% finished, this concludes our over-the-top clothesline build. This is what we'll call the Florida clothesline.
Yeah.
Blocks the sun, blocks the rain, but we can hang our clothes outside. I know you guys are thinking you could have just bought a dryer for everything we put into this, but we enjoy hang drying.
I don't want a dryer.
So coming soon, we're going to show you guys the finished product and we're going to try it out. We'll see how it's working for us. You just have to wait for that stone, get this side railing installed. It's going to be awesome, so stay tuned for that. We apologize for not having finished projects, but it's become kind of a trait of our channel around here, is having half finished projects, not by design. We hope you guys enjoyed this project, got some inspiration or entertainment out of it. But that's all we have for now, so until next time, take care.
See ya.